What's going on, Internet? Velociraptor from EventHubs here. You might know this guy. Remind them who you are.
IFC Yipes.
It's Yipes. And we just heard yesterday that Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is coming to the FGC. We are all very excited. We don't know a ton about it, but we do know a few things, and I wanted to get Mr. Yipes' impressions here, what he thinks about the game. So first of all, when you first found out that Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was coming, what was your initial reaction? How you feel about it?
That we're back and better than ever. That was the first thing, but more so that the community is back on top, I would say. So I'm pretty excited for it. Everybody's excited for it. So just because everybody's excited for it that much, it makes me more excited for the game. So.
And so we found out it's a 2v2. This is a little different than what Marvel fans are used to as of late. Obviously, MVC3 was a 3v3, and there are no assists. How do you feel about that?
Well, I came from a generation where, from Children of the Atom, Marvel superheroes. So I always thought it was cool that it was, neutral heavy. Like the complaints actually came on when the Versus series, when we found out the Versus series was coming out. And then, we made that transition and we got used to it. So now it's more neutral heavy from what I see, but I have no problem with it. I think it's beautiful, man. I'm always up for change.
And then I guess kind of in that same vein, we got Infinity Stones, right? As opposed to, maybe you compare it to X Factor.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Infinity Stones? We haven't seen a ton on them, but any initial reactions to that?
Well, I've seen a lot of complaints online about it, and I actually made a tweet early on saying, if you're complaining about gems in a Marvel game, then you're definitely an 09er, and I forgive you, But no, so Infinity Gems, we're kind of used to it, the old heads for Marvel superheroes. There was Infinity Gems in that one. And it's pretty cool. It gave it a lot of layers, especially at certain characters. Like if they slow, for example, in the old game Juggernaut, you give him speed up, and there you go. His offense is greater. So I like the fact that it can enhance and bring out more strategies into the game. So that's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I think, and also going off of that, in the recent history of the FGC, we had Cross Tekken, and that had gems, and that did not go over well. And a lot of people attributed at least partially to that game's failure to the gems being there. And so the community is like, gems, anytime you hear that word, you get scared. But you don't feel like that's really not the problem there. It's not what's really scary. It's been successful in the past.
Yeah. I mean, it's Infinity Stones. For anybody that's a Marvel head, you'll figure what it's there for, right? For the enhancements and stuff. But more so, it has a storyline behind it. That's what makes it great. So, Cross Tekken didn't really have a story behind it. It's just gems, enhancements, which I had no problem with it. But this time, there's a story behind it. So, you can only guess on who's going to be in there. Of course, Thanos is going to be there. I haven't heard anything, but let's be honest here. Let's be honest here. If we got some gems, he's in there. So I'm pretty excited for it, man.
Right. Speaking of Thanos and then potential characters, is there anyone that you absolutely want to see? Is anyone from we've only seen 4 or 5 characters at this point?
Yeah.
But who do you want to see in the game?
So off top, Dante and Nero. So please give me those guys, Capcom, please. And Sigma. I want Sigma. So those are my top 3. If I get those 3, I'll be very ecstatic.
You feel like it's going to be a huge roster? I mean, because the potential for Marvel Universe characters plus Capcom Universe characters, you could have a huge roster. Do you want to see that? Do you just want to see a game with 10, 15 well thought out, well developed characters? Or do you hope they just pile on the superheroes, pile on the the Capcom characters, and get as big of a selection as possible?
Let's get as big a selection as possible, man. If we get 50 on 50, I'm good with that. 100 on 100, come on, keep it going. I mean, now we're at that era where we're doing seasons of characters, so you're definitely going to be looking forward. I'm going to be looking forward to what season 2 of the game is gonna come with. So.
Is there anything else that you want to add about it? Any shout-outs or anything like that?
Well, shout-outs to Capcom and Peter, Combo Fiend, guys like John D for sure. They definitely have done a lot of things and gone through great lengths to get this going, 2 years ago, I heard about it in a tease, a long time ago, but it was from somebody random completely. But, I always had that faith that it'll come back.
Yeah.
And people and the community should be blessed because, listen, I waited for 10 years for Marvel 3, and you guys waited for 6 for a new one. So don't feel that bad. It's a good thing that we got it. So it's a beautiful day.
Right on. Well, thank you so much. Tuning in, guys. Thank you so much, Yipes, for doing this. You are the man.
Thank you, man. You too.
Right on.
Doing a good job.
We'll catch you next time, guys.